Hello everyone, this should be episode 2 of Kerbal Space Program Science Mode, and we left off with we just got advanced rocketry researched, so let's continue. My task at the moment is to try to get to the Mun. So I guess we'll just continue that. Now the last rocket that I built, I decided is not good enough. So I'm going to build a new one, hopefully better. That is going to look a little bit more like, or the lander's going to be a little bit flatter, mainly. And engines, I now have the Terrier engines, which means that I can do this, which is wonderful. The Terrier engine is super efficient and also has very low thrust, which is good for this thing, this part of it. So, therefore, the very good for the lander. So, just need to add the nose cones, and also this design, I'm planning on making the entire lander land on Kerbin rather than just the middle part like I was planning on the first time, which means that I can use these big parachutes to slow me down. So that should hopefully be much better. Now that I have the lander, I can continue this and get the next component, the coupler. And this system will also make it so that I can be much more dense with my engine, or with my rocket. So it should be much more stable. Now this is going to be a reliant engine. Actually no, it's going to be a swivel engine so that I can control it better. Surrounded by these, because I believe, if I remember correctly, they are, yep, that's very good for this rocket. Just trust me on that, I don't know how to describe it. And then finally, the actual booster engines that will get this off of Kerbin. Oops. Okay, sorry about that. Should be better now. The actual engines get me off Kerbin. Should be something like that. You can see that I'm keeping a very dense profile, which I'm hoping will make it more stable, given the problems that we had last time. Let's go down a little bit. So, the idea here is going to be that on takeoff, it's going to be the solid boosters and the swivel engine, but not the side engines. So the side engines only will trigger when the side boosters are separated. Because the only reason that I really need the swivel line in the beginning is for control. After that, it will decouple, and the lander is the next component. And after that, we have the parachutes are the final stage that'll deploy. Which I will remember this time. I want these to deploy at 2,500 rather than, let's see, this one's going to be just 2,000, or at least very close to it, and this one's going to be 1,500. There we go. So I think this looks good. So I'm going to hope that this works. And final few things, I need fins and I need science components. Sorry about that delay, lost my train of thought. Plenty of them, because I'm going to be landing on the Mun, and I want to make sure that I get as much as I can from that. Okay, and then finally the barometers. I'm not putting any of them in the middle. That serves no actual purpose. It just seemed like a good layout that would look cool. So I'm doing that. And then finally I'm going to add the landing legs, although I probably don't need them now that I think about it. Whoa, why is that acting weird? There we go. So I probably don't need those, but I'm doing it anyway just because it seems like a good idea. It'll actually, those are not strong enough to hold up the weight of this, so it'll actually still end up on the Terrier engines, but it'll add just a little bit more cushioning when it lands. Next step is going to be, if I can find it, I don't know if we have it. Oh, never mind. I was going to put ladders on the side, but we haven't unlocked that yet, so can't do that. Now, I'm going to hope that that's everything I need, and I'm going to test it. Everyone ready? This one is not actually going to try to land on the Mun. I am not landing for that. I just want to test to see how well it takes off and how well it controls. It certainly sounds cool. I don't think the swivel engine is providing enough directional force. Okay. Reaching 2,000 meters. I hope that didn't blow up my engines. Good. Did not. That's why this one was working for the trigger. Okay, I'm going to abort this. Okay, so I'm gonna try that again, this time with the liquid engines on. You know, that would probably be a good idea. That looks a bit better. I can actually control it now. That's much better. So, my goal is here. Right about there, right around 45 degrees. I think it looks cool, but I can't see any reason not to. Where's my boxes? As soon as that hits 70, or a little bit past that, so I do apparently need just a little bit more fuel, or a little bit more power, because I just had to use my landing engines to do that burn. Yeah, I do not even have enough to get into orbit with this. So, time for a redesign. I'm going to add another stage to this, right in the middle here. There we go. Nice tall one. This one is going to be a Reliant engine. I don't know if this is going to be powerful enough, but I hope it will be. Now, this is not going to be a very stable rocket, as you can probably tell just by how it looks, but I will risk it. And actually, both just to make it look a bit better, but also because it just seems like a good idea, I'm going to add another set of engines up here, or not all the way up there, but right here, liquid fueled, so that I can control it a bit better into orbit. Okay, so the middle one's Reliant, so I'm going to make these swivel. And I'm going to pull all of these up until the engine is not going to be in the way. Yep, and that's the next stage. Perfect. And that separates. Perfect. Staging is great. We need to get the caps on those. Actually, I may rotate these so that they're 45. I think that looks much better. So I'm just going to leave it at that for now and let's test it. I have no idea if that bottom stage has enough thrust to get me off the launch pad, but that's why we're testing it. Just barely. Which actually is kind of good. I like that. Job bringing it back up, but I think I can manage it. At this point, I don't have any access to structural supports, so I can't really do anything about that. Anyway, I'm being extremely inefficient with this launch. To redo this, and this time I'm going to try just going straight up at the beginning, not tilting. Up and away. Once we get enough power, I'm going to turn on the, and start tilting it, but at the moment, I don't need to. And we get hurt. Here we go. I'm starting to tilt it, but we're at a high enough speed, in my opinion. Oh, we lost the fin. That's what's causing that problem. That wobbly for now. somewhat better control. I have plenty of local fuel on this stage. Probably too much, actually. There we go. Now we're stable. The Apple is still super low, but it's better than it was before because I essentially still have a second lower stage to get into orbit with. So. I'm waiting for this number here, the Apple to be over 70 by a little bit. Oh, no. Okay. Physical time warp is a bad idea here. Okay, good to know. Yes, that lost engine is definitely affecting it though, because all of them are gimballed towards each other to counteract that problem. That the thrust is directed more sideways than down than it should be. There we go. Now we're getting closer. I staged that very wrong. I'm going to stop this now. Using all of the fuel. Okay, so I think I've just proven that this lander at least works. I can't use parachutes on the Mun, however, it seems to work for Kerbin, so we're all good. Actually, I'll leave that out just to test them. 2. That's gonna be 1. And the second pair shortly. And the final one in a while. Anyway, at this speed I'm quite confident that we will land safely, so I will go back to the vehicle assembly to try out the next thing. Next thing I'm going to try is I'm going to put these engines in the bottom stage, part of that group, as well as the swivel engines of this stage. So, let me see if that works. If it does, I'll be very happy. If it doesn't, I will not. Or, I mean, I'll also be happy. It'll look really cool, but now I have enough force to get off the launch pad easily, as well as control tilting here. It's a little bit too quickly. actually enough right there to get it to orbit. So I will maneuver here to get me actually all the way into orbit. Right about there. Line up with the maneuver. Oop, actually, I don't have enough, according to this, to do it. I'm going to try anyway. However, I'm a little bit concerned. Wait for a little bit. Okay, and I just readjusted the burn time, so that's good. Ooh. Waited a bit too long. Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't fixed that yet. I'll do that next. But I'm pretty sure we have enough fuel in our lander to get to the one that I want to do. So, at least this part looks good. Anyway, and now because I feel like it, I'm wondering if we can land like this. I'll bring myself down into the atmosphere just enough, and then wait. Without any decelerating, other than the atmosphere, can we land? Let's find out. This is going to... Oh, I forgot that. Shortly, this is going to start burning as we reach around 50 kilometers. Luckily, the heat tolerances of these are fairly high, so I'm not super worried about that part. However, I might be wrong. Okay, I'm losing something. I don't know what I'm losing. Okay, I lost it. Okay, I lost all the landing gear and probably some of the scientific instruments. However, it is still working. I don't think we can stop in time. And I wonder what happens if I do this now. Kind of go up. Okay. So I know that that'll work no matter how much fuel I have, so that's good. Now I need to figure out a way to actually get this thing into orbit reliably, because this is not working the way that I have it set up. Let's see. I was going to do actually no. I'm going to fix the staging and test it. So at the moment this top piece is staging for the bottom piece, the bottom coupler. Oh wait, is there even a bottom coupler? Nope. Oh wait. I completely forgot the coupler there. That will be what the problem was. Now, where did that coupler end up in the file here? Right here. So that needs to be before that stage. So that is stage, let's see, at the same time as this. And that's that one. That's those engines. That's those engines. Perfect. You can test it that way. some squealing. So I adjusted it so that now I can actually make use of that middle second stage engine. It doesn't get distracted with the rest of it. So that's good. I completely forgot. Wait, what? I don't understand what's happened. I want to know what happened. So, some liquid-fueled thing ran out of fuel very quickly, and I don't know what it was. What liquid-fueled thing was it? It's that middle one. I'm going to rework it to work like it was before with the small engines triggering after the solid fuel boosters separate and moving in one direction. And I've ruined everything. So managing to get off the ground at least. And now that middle engine is working quite well. Pretend that it didn't. I'm going to do this. It's always so nice watching that happen. It looks so pretty, especially with the trail. High enough out of the atmosphere that those pressures really aren't doing anything. Now, without parachutes, I wonder what happens. I'm going to rework that now so that these engines trigger with this set here, and that should be good. Okay, there we go. Now it's only those engines and the middle liquid fuel engine that is operating right now. So much less thrust, however, it does mean that the middle tank is not drained before the solid fuel boosters burn. waste of fuel right there, but hopefully we're back on track. Up more than sideways, because I just realized that we were going pretty much the wrong direction. There we go. Then I can... Oh, not quite. There we go. Now, my apoapsis is above the atmosphere, which means that I can plan this. Like this. There we go. I can say face towards the maneuver. As soon as we leave the atmosphere, I will have a calculated burn time. Yes, 35 seconds. So, I need to wait for... Let's see. And 3, 2, 1. Probably will not leave enough fuel to get to the moon or off of it, so I still need to fix my rocket. However, this is working. Now officially in orbit. Actually, if I get to a high enough orbit, I can get some science that way. That was too far. At the moment, I'm going to end up in outer space. Do not want that. That is much better. Now I can take some experiments from space. After I program the deceleration burn, which I want to just make me just barely skim the atmosphere. There we go. Now, I have 4 modules here, so I'll just use all 4. Okay, that one isn't useful. Okay, that one is useful. And not enough for it to be worth it. So, I actually might have had enough to get back off the moon, or the mun. I'm not sure. But at this point it's too late to redo that. So... sorry about that, I hit the wrong button. I guess now we wait. Now we have some new data here. see now. Which ones did I already use? I already did that one. So I shall use this one. Yes. Perfect. We're getting plenty of science from this. There we go. Perfect. And I shall now make it go a little bit further so that it's like all the way out here. I am impressed that the Kerbals can survive for, you know, a month in space and without any movement area or anything like that. Okay. This is still the same space biome, I guess. So it's still the same data, however, I'm still getting quite a bit of science from it, so... Very good for that. And I might as well get the rest of them, so that it's still giving me plenty of data, so it's very, very useful for R&D. Now I could transmit this if I want to, but I decided I didn't want to, so I'm not going to. Okay, I am now 2 days away from the maneuver, so I have 2 hours. And I've passed it, but hopefully I can still do the proper burn. I'm officially inside the atmosphere. I don't know if that's far enough in the atmosphere. That should be enough, and I still have enough fuel to slow myself down when I get there, so... As long as I don't lose too many experiments when I reach the atmosphere, it should be fine. So I have time to fall back towards Kerbin. Where is it? There it is. Still decelerate enough so I'm not going to completely burn up on re-entry. I'm hoping that I can slow down enough. Okay, I don't have any more fuel, so I need to be careful. I'm losing stuff. Too much, and most of the experiments are stored in the cockpit, so... And I forgot to take a crew report. This is not safe. Okay. We are reverting to vehicle assembly, because I actually do want to get to the Mun. We just lost all of the data, but I'm not too concerned. I still like this lander design. I'm going to keep it, but I'm once again going to completely redesign the booster. Give me a moment. Okay. I'm actually going to stop the episode here, so I will be streaming again in just a bit. Oh, literally a minute or so. So, just pausing and restarting right about now. in the next episode, we are going to be designing the booster to get my lander to the Mun. And if you liked, please hit the like button. If you want to see more things like this, subscribe. And if you want to be notified when I make new videos, please just hit the bell. So, see you in the next episode.